Hey everybody, this is Cubby Stitches. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to take a little bit of time and show you what I've been working on this week. It's a busy week with Thanksgiving. My mom was moving, well, she moved several months ago, but she had 3 storage units worth of stuff that we had to bring down, so we worked on that. I now have a whole garage worth of stuff to go through and sort through. My mom, half of her stuff is probably fabric and yarn mixed together, so I'm working on doing a craft room for her. And I've got 3 bookcases and I'm going to paint them a beautiful color, her favorite color actually. And I can't wait to show you what that looks like. I'm really excited about it. She will have to pare down some of her things since she's got a lot. And she loves the idea of crafting and crocheting and sewing. With her arthritis and her hands being so bad nowadays, it's kind of hard for her to get started with it. And then with her hands, she gets a little discouraged by it. But I'm going to root her on with this new sewing room in her brand new house. And I hate to say that I'm excited to go through the stuff, but I'm excited to throw things away because I am one that gets on kind of like a ramp and like, let's throw everything away. And so I'll be showing you a little bit of that, a little bit of what's in the storage unit. I wanted to show you some of the things that I've been working on this week. I haven't really worked on much stitching. I've got to get my stitching in. That's my stress reliever, and it gives me an opportunity just to kind of zone out and do my stitching. Let me get some of that I worked on, and I finished a couple of projects this weekend. And I'm excited, so excited to show you guys that. I haven't seen this anywhere, but then again, there's with Google and YouTube, I'm sure it may be out there somewhere, but I wanted to show you my spin on it. Because when I saw this, I wanted to give a shout out to Lips19. Got a comment for the little stockings that I made to string those and use them as kind of like a garland. And I did that but kind of went off on a different spin, if you want to say, or different tangent. I'm excited to show you that as well. Done a little bit of decorating tonight for Christmas. No, I'm not one that will set everything up after Thanksgiving. And for those that are, kudos to you, because just getting the inspiration to set out all the Christmas designs, especially since we don't have any kids or grandkids, it's a little hard to get in the spirit, but I've done some decorating to go along with my projects that I'm finishing. I am excited to show you those. Let's get on with it. Okay, so I have a Great Dane puppy lurking behind me, and she is seeing all these things that I've taken out, and she is a nosy busybody, and so she sniffs everything. This is my little bit of a parade, probably more so quilting this week than cross stitch, but I did finish a couple of cross stitch things and I wanted to show those to you. I thought it wasn't very productive this week, but it looks like what I have laying on the table is pretty productive. So the first thing, I don't know if you remember, but these cute little stockings here, there are 30 in a pack, and I think I've made like 12 of them. So what I did is they're finished. You can see the little backs. This is felt on the back, and it was a Bucella, I hope I'm saying that right, kit. And what I did was last time, or my first video, when I was showing, I had a piece of ribbon and I couldn't figure out how to finish it, and it looked a hot mess. Lips19, shout out, suggested that I hang them as garland. And so I've kind of done that. But the one thing I wanted to show you as well is that you can see the top up here, how it's got like little points on it. What I decided to do is sew the top together. I don't know if you can see that, but I sewed the top together. I did it in white so it would blend. But then I went behind me with pinking shears, and I don't know if you know what pinking shears are. Pinking shears, if you can see, they have these little jagged edges like that. I do know that they're kind of like you can use them for like scrapbooking as well. These are sewing pinking shears. So what I did was I just took them and I just went like that over each one of them, and that's how I decided to finish them. I may go back, later on after looking at them and finish the top differently, but I love these. These are like the cutest little things with the pointed little tops, and I can't wait to show you how they're hanging on the garland. So that was my first one. So I have 3 more that I need to finish with the little stocking like this, and this is the Santa. And I think this is the last one that I finished last night. And so this is the little 2 candles. And you can see they're not very big at all. I mean, I think they're like 3 inches by 4 inches. And so you can see this one here is kind of like in the shape of a stocking. So that's pretty cool. And then this one here, the little snowman. And you can see these up here are French knots. And these are French knots as well. One of his eyes are a little lopsided, but that's okay. I love doing French knots. The harder, more challenging things I like to do, but these are the 3 that I will be getting together like these with the red felt on the back, and we will put that where I put the other ones as well. I'm so excited to show y'all this. The next project that I've been working on, and I showed this for the first one, is going to be this project here, and you can see that I got more of the sky here done, and I'm now coming down into the sky here. Down here will be the red for the flag and then the eagle's head. But you can see I got quite a bit done on that, and loving this gold collection. Trying to figure out what the Great Dane, Molly, is doing. And she seems to be shredding paper. Okay, stop Molly from shredding Kleenexes. She loves to find things and then shred them. Earlier it was my slipper that she shredded that my daughter bought me for Christmas. And so I now have to tell her that they're shredded. They were Jessica Simpson slippers, and now they're gone. They bit the dust. I hate that, but I can't leave her alone for a second. Let's continue the break because I have both her and Joe eating now, and hopefully they're not too distracting in the background. They're eating and they're satisfied just for a second, and so I'm going to try to finish this. Another project that I started when we moved into our house a couple of years ago was I wanted to make some placemats, some quilted placemats. And I looked all around different stores, and I just didn't like the feel of it. And so I had some different color blues, and I'd really like to decorate the house in blues. This is very, very basic, very, very simple. But what I did was I picked out 3 blues that I liked. I'll show you what they look like right now. I thought I had some stitching on, but I don't even have stitching on it. These are just the front. And down the center here, I'm going to embroidery several words: love, happy, life. This is color 1, that's color 2. And then on the back, you can see this beautiful, like flowery. Isn't that gorgeous? These are going to be my placemats for our table. And I have a kind of like a table runner, but it's kind of like a simple single table runner, like a square. And I'm looking forward to making some table runners as well. But the wonderful thing about this YouTube channel is it has shown me the number of projects that I have out there that are not done. So I'm focusing or trying to focus on the projects that I have that are in progress before I start another project. But that's hard when you have squirrel moments. You know, I'll see something else and I'm like, oh, I really want to do that. But again, these projects, that one's 2 years old. The next one is probably maybe 15 years old. It was something that I had seen, absolutely loved it. And it was, I don't know if you can see, I may have to stand up for it. But it's kind of like a little thing. I'll probably hang this on the wall in our bedroom. But it's 3 hearts, it's 3 different materials. I say patterns, not materials, but patterns. And so I've already got them pinned and everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do what's called big stitch quilting, and that's going like 1/4 of an inch around the heart, and then like 1/4 of an inch on the outside. And I may put some hearts down here, not exactly sure yet. I kind of go with the flow with that, but this was a project that I just found, and I'm like, I've got to get it. This is one I'm going to be working on. Let's see, this one I'm definitely going to have to stand up, I know that. This is one that I started probably 5 years ago, and my mother and I loved it. My mom bought the pattern, and she bought me one as well. I have the other one sewn, but it's not as far along as this. This piece is machine pieced, but there's parts of it that's hand sewn. And I enjoy and love to hand sew. It's just kind of like where I get to zone out and not focus on anything except for what I'm working on. So this is a piece that I'm trying to get finished so she can display in her new home and on her beautiful table that she just got. And hopefully I'll get to show you that in the future. This is one of the things that she's going to be putting And you can see, I mean, it's probably maybe 4 feet, I guess you could say. But isn't that adorable? Isn't that gorgeous? I'm trying to lift it up enough so everybody can see. But the part that I was talking about, the hand sewing, is there's something called cathedral ceilings, and you can see like these curves here and this curve here. The fabric is not doing that. And a cathedral ceiling, let me see if I can show you how this little lip here. So it was a rectangle, and you take this and you pull it back, and then you can sew it by machine, or what I did is I hand stitched all of these little pieces back. Anywhere you see anything like pulled back like that, that's hand sewn, and it is ready to go. There's another one. There's another one. There's some down here. And that's kind of like what gives the piece some movement. See how it just like moves as the flower? Isn't that gorgeous? So like I said, it's all pinned up, and what I'll probably do is I'll probably do the same with the big stitch quilting, and then I'll probably straight stitch or stitch in the ditch for the pieces like right down through here. I like to do straight stitching or the straight quilting, straight line quilting at first to kind of anchor everything, and then I'll go back with a bigger needle and do like a 1/4 of an inch seam or stitch, not seam, but a stitch. This one, the back of it, let me show you the back. The back is poinsettias, and you can see it's got a little bit of a shimmer. But see the poinsettia fabric, isn't that going to be gorgeous? This would be awesome if I could finish it by next week and show you the finished project then. I hope to get a lot more finished this week, but I do have 2 more things to show you. If you watched last week's video, you will see that I had a pillow that I had finished of a piece that I did in 1983. I'm glad that I stitched the year on there to kind of give me an idea of how old the piece is. I enjoy looking at older pieces to see what people have done over the years. And this piece here, last week, was part of the stain removal process or experiment that I showed everyone, and you're gonna be amazed. You're gonna be amazed that I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see the stain, but we're gonna try it and see. What I did was I made a pillow out of it with some just cuteness. This was last week. This was, well, I say this is my finish for this week. Cute little pillow, and you can see a little bit of the stain, but nothing like it was last week. And I hope you go back and watch the video to see the difference in before the stain and after the stain. Again, this piece, I don't know if you can see, was done in 1986. And so this piece was done in 1986, so it is 34 years old, but you can see how it's really held up. And what I did was last week I removed the stain with the solution natural remedy that I used with 3 different ingredients. If you didn't check it out, go back into the second or last week's video to see the ingredients, and you can see exactly the difference between before I used the natural ingredients and afterwards. But you can see that I have cute little owls with the different glasses. And I thought this was cute too, because owls are known as looking up or with their bright eyes. And then the little saying, "Love lifted me" here. I just thought, you know, owls looking out. I just thought this was adorable. And this was actually done on 22 count. And I keep forgetting to let you know, this was done on 22 count, and I love stitching on 22 count or larger. The other piece with the eagle is 14 count, but that came with the kit, so I didn't switch that up or anything. This is one of my finishes. Another treat that I'm just over the moon with. I had an idea from M Lips 19, again a shout out to M Lips 19, about doing the garland for the little stockings here. So what I did is I had some clothespins that I hang my husband's work clothes on. What I did or thought about was maybe using them and being a little bit creative. So what I did was I took one of the safety pins, it's just a regular old laundry safety pin, and I spray painted it. I spray painted red ones and I spray painted green ones. And I went to the Dollar Tree and bought some glitter. So I sprinkled the glitter on there. And what I'm doing is I'm hanging it with that. Isn't that adorable? Cute. So what I did when I went to the Dollar Tree, this is $1. So I got some glitter and I just got them in different colors, gold, like a hot pink, silver, green, and red. I think I bought like 3 different ones. But you can see the different colors. This is glitter. And what I did was I spray painted a regular old clothespin. That's one side. This is the side that'll be hidden. But then I took the little glitter and I sprinkled. This one is gold and I have some silver. And I did green ones like this as well. See that? And I will show you what it looks like finished. But this is how I will be hanging them. Isn't that adorable? I thought that was a good idea. Instead of doing the garland, I just thought this would be a little bit easier and a little bit more spark to it. Let me show you the green ones. So with these, this is the green one, and you can see just a regular old clothespin. You can get these at the Dollar Tree for like $1 for like a whole bag of them. And that's what I did, was like cheap, cheap, cheap. But you can see here, this is the gold glitter that I used. $1 here, $1 here. That's it. I take that back. I got the spray paint. Now the spray paint was like $3.68, but it will last me like forever. But you can see here that I took green spray paint and red spray paint. That's adorable. I also have one where I did in a silver. It was red and silver, but I think it's still drying. But again, you can see taking this and hanging it on some garland. And I'll show you that, because I'm so excited about that, because it was one of those, I just went and I got the garland out of the attic, and it was like, oh, this is going up for this video, because I'm so excited about the idea, and so I wanted to share it with everybody. And let me show you what that looks like.